Hello, I'm Meredith Blackwell. I'm here at IMC 12 in Maastricht, Netherlands, and I am. It's 14th of August, 2024, and I'm going to have an interview now with a real Dutch mycologist, and he will introduce himself. Han?
Yeah, I am Han Weuster. I have a chair in microbiology at Utrecht University in the Netherlands.
Okay, and we'd like to know something about you were born where, and in the Netherlands, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
And then you spent your childhood someplace, and you can tell us about that.
Yeah, absolutely.
And where you got interested in fungi.
Yeah, so I was born in the northern part of the Netherlands, close to Heerenveen, which is the famous place for ice skating in the world. And there I also went to secondary school, and then I studied in Groningen, which is the university in the northern part of the Netherlands. There I studied biology for 6 years and did an internship at DSM, which is a company in the Netherlands, a biotech company that uses fungi as a cell factory. And based on that, I came into the field of fungal research, and based on that, I got a PhD position. So I ended up in fungal biology, but that was kind of a coincidence. It could also have been bacteria or plants or animals.
So you ended up working with Professor Wessels?
With Wessels, yes.
Yeah, and so how did that happen? Was that the coincidence of...
Yeah, he was my supervisor, my examiner of the University of Groningen when I did my internship in Delft at the DSM company. And so he had to grade me, and he liked my research, and we talked, and then he offered me a PhD position.
Very nice.
Yeah.
So, but you originally were in biology, but then you decided to specialize in fungi?
Yeah, was it a decision or was it accidental?
Yeah,
that's
mine was very accidental.
Oh yeah, mine too. Yeah, because it could also have been microbiology with bacteria. But when I did a postdoc in Munich, there was a plant biology lab very close to us. And I saw the people working with the plants, and then I realized it's much better to do work on fungi than on plants, because it takes loads of times to work with plants.
Well, less space.
Yeah, and so this is a real selling point for me.
Yeah. So why don't you tell us about your research? It's something quite distant from what I've done, but I would like to hear about it.
Yeah, so I started mainly as a molecular biologist, studying growth and development of Aspergillus niger, which is widely used in the Netherlands as a cell factory for enzymes. And we also studied molecular mechanisms on mushroom formation, especially in Schizophilum commune. So the first, let's say, 10 years were really molecular, let's say, identifying transcription factors involved in growth and development. And now I more or less go more into the field of use of fungi in sustainability as alternative meat products, as mycelium materials, in bioremediation, those type of applications.
I'm wondering how widespread the use of artificial meat is, because I ate a non-hamburger the other night at the hotel here, and I wondered, I'm used to at home having veggie burgers, which are obviously not baked meat. But the one here seemed like meat. So is it widespread? Is this an application that's already in effect?
Yeah. So I think that the developments in making these plant-based burgers is really developing fast in Europe. And they actually like to use the stems of the oyster mushroom because they have the same structure as meat.
It's meat, yeah.
So if you eat it, you have a mouthfeel very similar to meat, and that is a selling point of using mycelium to replace meat. But not every fungus has the same amino acid composition of the protein, so it's not a full meat replacement. Yet there are fungi, for instance, used by the company Quorn, that produces a full meat replacement because it has the same amino acid profile.
And that's a fusarium, is it?
Yeah, fusarium. Yeah.
Yeah, that's highly marketed in the United States.
Yeah.
But that's the only brand I know of that
Oh.
is sold that way. There may be others, and I just don't know them. But so it's possible I was eating pleurotus in the hotel here?
Yeah, I cannot exclude that, but I think there are many competing brands with different strategies, maybe also based on soy. There's a lot of competition.
It was a little fibrous, so I thought, so I'll ask them to see what they use.
Yeah,
because it'll be the first time I've had it.
Okay, and did you like it actually?
It just seemed a little bit strange. It was sort of like meat, but not quite. And so I was curious about it. So that probably detracted from it, wondering what I was really eating.
Oh, yeah. Because what we have a project together with groups in Denmark. In Denmark, there's a lot of pea growing for the feed for the cattle. But because of the change in the diets in the northern part of Europe, they aim to replace the pea as feed for food. And pea has high protein content, but the amino acid composition is not optimal, the structure is not optimal, and it does also not have the umami taste what meat has, and fungi too. So, and additionally, the pea protein is not very digestible. So what we aim with our fungi is to give it structure, to give it taste, to give it total amino acid composition that is optimal, and to increase the digestibility. And then we have a perfect product, and that's what we do. But we study it from more the fundamental point of view. How does the fungus grow in the pea matrix? What does it degrade? What doesn't it degrade? When does it degrade? So these kind of options.
Yeah. So what about calorie-wise? Is it fewer calories than meat or more? Or?
So if we look first at protein content, so meat is like 20% protein. Our normally mushrooms is 2% protein. So you need to eat a lot of
it.
mushrooms before you get your daily amount of meat. Otherwise, there is not a lot of carbohydrate. There's a lot of fiber, but not of digestible carbohydrate. So it's quite low in calories.
Good for a diet.
Yeah, it's good for a diet. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So everything you did before was really applicable to presenting it for the public now then. Yeah, it's very nice.
Yeah, and that is also because in the Netherlands microbiology started from two professors in Delft. That were actually linked to this biotech company. So they were thinking really in applications. And they had students, including Jos Wessels, and they went to the other universities in the Netherlands. So many microbiologists in the Netherlands, they always have an application like way of working.
Yeah, and at home we seldom do that. You know, we think of getting money for research from the government or sometimes from a company, but often it's not. We don't look at it as some way to supply someone with a product.
Yeah, but I must also say that within the biology in our university, not every person appreciates that we collaborate with companies, because that is less appreciated, because fundamental science is the highest there is.
Well, I think that after you reach the peak, you can go ahead and do this, and no one can
You know,
discredit it.
so what I always say is, okay, we have a applied question, but we need fundamental science to answer that. So
Yeah.
we also do fundamental research.
Yeah, and that's really what we all do. We
Yeah.
have to have some fundamental research done before we can do any more.
Exactly.
Yeah, yeah. So, can you tell us a little bit about Professor Wessels? He was made a distinguished member, or an honorary member, as we called it, of the Mycological Society of America.
Yeah.
But few of us knew him. You know, few of us now living knew him.
Oh yeah,
So-
that's possible. So he actually also worked in the United States, and he had a theory about how hyphae grow, and that theory was a bulk flow of newly synthesized cell wall material that was initially not cross-linked, and then the turgor pressure would press out this newly made material, and in the meantime it starts cross-linking.
Okay.
And his view was contrasting the view of Bartnicki Garcia, and they had really debates.
That's what I hoped you would get into a little bit, because many of us know Bartnicki
Yeah.
now, and,
Yeah.
and he's very outspoken, mostly because he thinks that oomycetes are really fungi, and we should realize that.
Yeah, and so Bartnicki, he also liked to discuss, and he had a good sense of humor. And Jos Wessels was more a serious man. So you also saw that Jos Wessels got really angry sometimes, and Bartnicki, I think, enjoyed but they respected each other a lot, and there was also a friendship. But I liked it because there were these two views, and then you get really a discussion to say, oh, you are right or you are wrong,
Yeah.
and then in the end I think it's somewhere in the middle. That's always how it is,
Yeah.
the outcome, right?
And if it's only you, it's your view and no one else,
Yeah.
and it's not tested.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But yeah, Bartnicki has a very good sense of humor, and
Yeah.
half the time you think he's only arguing for the sense of arguing. Yeah. Yeah. So anyway,
Yeah, and Jos was always very serious.
Yeah.
So, although I must say, when he retired, Jos Wessels, I visit him every year together with Jan Dijksterhuis. And Jos, when he retired, was not so interested anymore in biology. Actually, he was more interested in physics and in astronomy and origin of life, etc. So we had many discussions every year. We had a topic, and he was lecturing, and I was drinking the wine.
well, I appreciated very much. I was in charge of writing, getting someone to write memorials
Yeah.
for the Mycological Society of America, and since he was one of our honorary mycologists, you wrote the
Yeah.
piece on him,
Yeah.
and I liked it very much. It was
Okay.
very good. It talked about his science, but the personal side too. And I'm a great dog lover, and I was surprised to find out that he had Newfoundland hounds. And
Oh, it
It
was a
was-
terrible dog.
Oh, no.
Yeah, because the dog was not listening at all and was like 200 kilograms.
they're huge.
And Wessels was like shouting and shouting, but he did not respond. And this animal was climbing up to your body, etc. It was really annoying.
I saw a very large dog in the hotel the other day. It's a German dog.
Yeah.
I can't remember the name now, but it's huge. And it's a cross, I think. The breed was a cross
Yeah.
between one of the Newfie dogs, as I call them, and,
Yeah.
and some other type of dog. They pulled ammunition carts in the war.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a huge dog. But anyway, I wouldn't want him putting his feet up on my, my shoulders.
Exactly.
Yeah, so anyway. Well, is there anything else that needs to be said in
No,
a quick
thank you.
interview?
Yeah.
Anyway, I've enjoyed this, and it was nice to finally meet you in person.
Yeah.
So
Likewise.
thank you so much.